crash outs in Chirac history. Now his homie Q50 is taking the beef to another level, going to war with 2 whole cities. In August 2025, news broke that Q50 had been shot in St. Louis. That Q50 was the one who got hit up. Rumors were flying that Q50 wasn't gonna make it out alive and might already be dead. There weren't any real news reports about what happened though, and nobody knew what really went down. Q50 stayed quiet for a while, and that made a lot of people think the rumors were true. But then the next day, he hopped on IG Live and started trolling his ops in St. Louis, but the ops allegedly did shoot up his whip. According to rumors, it all started because Q50 stole $60K from some goons in St. Louis. Some sources claim that Q50 ran off on a promoter, but other people claim that Q50 finessed a plug in St. Louis with fake meth, and that's what sparked the beef. So when Q50 came back to the city for a show, the St. Louis goons allegedly caught him lacking and almost killed him. Q50 has ops all over the place, and there were a lot of people trying to claim the shooting, but most people thought CTS Lil Wick and his homies were involved with the situation. Lil Wick is a white drill rapper from St. Louis who went viral for shooting a dude in the head and beating the case in court. And after the news broke about Q50 allegedly getting shot, Lil Wick's homie Houdini Rail went live and said he had never popped somebody that famous before. That CTS Lil Wick is the dude that Q50 stole $60K off of, and that's why people thought Lil Wick and his homies tried to kill Q50. Then Lil Wick went live and said nobody took $60K from him, but he did try to take somebody out. Dude from Chicago allegedly stamped Lil Wick's story and shouted out a bunch of shooters from St. Louis. Q50 and the Bloodhounds have beef with a Chicago set called 9-5 Mob, and Lil Dre from 9-5 Mob tagged the St. Louis goons. Lil Dre got clowned like crazy for dry snitching on his own alleged shooters like that. So he deleted the post, but somebody had already screenshotted it and put it on Instagram. It's not clear what really went down in St. Louis. CTS Lil Wick and his homie Sumo Dub went on No Jumper. Sumo Dub said straight up that they were the ones trying to take Q50 out.
They said y'all niggas did it. They thought y'all had shot Q50 up.
Man, we don't know nothing about nothing. They said a lot of people did that shit, man.
We did that shit, nigga.
Nah.
We did it.
They said a lot of shit about that shit. We don't know nothing about nothing.
Lil Wick tried to play it smarter and said he didn't know anything about the shooting, but he said he's been smoking Lil Jeff beef with the Bloodhounds.
Beastie B.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
So this not no overnight shit? Like,
nah, this ain't no just overnight internet shit. You know what I'm saying? It's more behind the shit than just what motherfuckers are called dick riding. You know, we ain't just dick riding each other on some, oh, we with them cause they static with them. Nah, that's not even why we cool with them.
Q50 didn't just diss Lil Wick and his homies though. He called out the whole city of St. Louis. Chicago is always in the spotlight for all the bodies dropping in the street, but St. Louis has an even higher murder rate, and it's full of shooters who would want to take Q50 out for dissing their city. Q50's been trolling St. Louis like crazy after he ran off with the $60K and didn't get touched, but he's gonna have a way bigger target on his back now if he goes back to the city. St. Louis isn't the only spot where Q50 might get slid on though, and fans are worried that he's not gonna survive long if he keeps hanging around Chicago. Q50 spent some time in Chicago when he was a kid, but then his family moved to Gary, Indiana when Q50 was still young. Q50's mom and other family members had street ties in Chicago to a set called Hit City, which is around the same area that the Bloodhounds rep now. Q50's family moved out of Chicago. It looked like he might never dreams didn't work out, and by the time Q50 made it to high school, that didn't mean he wasn't still connected to the streets. Q50 didn't grow up in Chirac, but he had family ties in the city, and a lot of his cousins were still gangbanging. And by the time he graduated high school, Q50 was already kicking it with Lil Jeff and other Bloodhounds in Chicago. Q50 also has ties to another